First up we have the Monstera deliciosa, and this one, provided you don't buy a large plant and you get one of the smaller plants, you can get these really cheaply. I think this one had maybe 2 leaves when I bought it, and the key is to buy a smaller one and then let it grow in your home. And the other great thing about this is you get to have the satisfaction of growing it in your home, and it can fully acclimatise to your environment, and it just feels good to watch a plant growing from a baby into a mature plant. These are available everywhere. You can get them in garden centres, big box stores, supermarkets. They're very popular, and for good reason. Not only are they low cost, but they're also low maintenance. So I think you'll really enjoy adding this one to your collection. Next we have the Philodendron scandens Brazil, and this one is really easy to get hold of and really cheap as well. And the great thing about this one is it's low cost, but it's got this really striking variegation in the foliage and these gorgeous heart-shaped leaves. This one's pretty readily available. I found mine in the garden centre and it didn't cost me very much at all. It will eventually start to vine too, so if you're looking for a plant for a shelf, then this is going to really fill that space. You can also grow it up a pole if you want to. And again, the great thing about buying a smaller plant is you get to grow it in your home and you get to decide how you'd like to grow it, as opposed to letting the garden centre choose. This one is just really easy to look after as well, so not only can you get this one budget friendly, but it's also beginner friendly too. Next up we have the dragon tree, and these are super drought tolerant, and you can find these at a really low cost at most garden centres, big box stores. They're all over the place, and you can get actually a pretty decent sized plant for a budget friendly price. What I've done in this pot is I've potted 3 of them together, and so that makes the plant fuller. So that's another idea if you'd like a fuller plant. If the plant's really cheap, buy a few of them, buy 2 or 3, pop them in the same pot, and you'll get a fuller plant. And this dragon tree really is one of the easiest plants to take care of, and as I say, it's really drought tolerant too, so not only are you saving money, but you also know that it is going to survive, which is of course important. If you're on a budget, you don't want to be splashing out loads of money on a plant only for it to die on you. Next on the list we have the snake plant, and you will find these everywhere. You're probably already aware that this is one of the easiest to care for plants out there, and you can buy these all over the place. They're really cheap. It depends on the size of the plant you get, but you can get pretty decent sized ones at a very low cost. And again, because this is so easy care, you will find that it is a survivor, so you're not going to waste money on a plant that could possibly die on you. Just be a bit mean with the watering and this plant will love you for it. But even for the bigger plants, this one cost me I think £8, and it's quite a big one. And I got this one from a supermarket, but they're everywhere basically. Just make sure you check your plant over before you buy it to make sure it's healthy. And yeah, the snake plant will definitely do you well. Everyone should have one of these in their house. Next on the list is the rubber plant, and these are really readily available. It's a very popular plant because it's easy to take care of. It's got these gorgeous big glossy leaves, and yeah, you can find it all over the place, and it's really cheap. And again, not only is it cheap, it's super easy to care for, so it's a good investment to make. They do grow quite big too, so if you're looking for a fast growing budget friendly plant, this one is definitely one for you. and it just instantly adds a focal point to the room with those gorgeous leaves. And I think I paid about £8 for this one, and I think I got this one from a supermarket, but it's just flourished in the time that I've had it, and it really brings a lot of joy to the room. So yeah, keep your eye out for this one. I think you'll really enjoy it. Next on the list we have the Maranta, and this one is super easy to get hold of. They are everywhere. You'll find them in the garden centres really cheap. I found part of this one in the sale section, so it was even cheaper, and I potted it up with a cutting that I already had. But this one is another one that's really easy to take care of, and at the same time you can pick it up for next to nothing. So it's a great investment to make, and it really does look gorgeous in any room. I mean, look at those leaves, the patterns on those leaves. You'd think, looking at this plant, that it might be difficult to take care of, but it's actually not. It's extremely easy to take care of, low cost to buy, and it looks gorgeous in your house. So I reckon this is definitely one you should add to your collection if it's your kind of thing. I find it to be one of the easiest plants that I have, and also a fast grower. It's still growing in winter at the moment, as you can see. Next up is the Tradescantia Nanook, and I don't have any of the other Tradescantias, but I found this one personally to be a really fast grower, and you can pick this one up at a really low cost. Don't be afraid to buy a smaller plant with this one, because that will cost you even less, and I can confirm it is a fast grower. So buying a smaller plant, bringing it home, you will get the pleasure of seeing it grow big quite quickly. And this is also super easy to propagate too, so if you'd like to make more of the plants, you can just snip the tips off, pop them in soil, and you can either make your existing plant bigger and fuller, or you can make more plants. This one is, as I say, really easily available, and you should be able to find it at a really budget friendly cost. Next we have the gorgeous Bird of Paradise, and again this plant is one that grows very fast, and if you were to buy a large plant it would be quite expensive. However, if you buy a small one like I have, you can grow it at home, and eventually you will have a big and luscious Bird of Paradise. And mine has grown significantly since I've had it. I haven't had it that long, and I'm looking forward to seeing it grow more this year, but I bought it very small and it has grown really quickly for me, as long as you give it lots of sun and keep on top of its watering. This plant really is an excellent budget friendly option, and you have the added pleasure of knowing that it can grow quite big. So if you're looking to have a statement piece in your house, then this one is going to be perfect for you. Next up we have the Syngonian White Butterfly, and I actually picked this one up really cheap, and it's quite a big plant. I mean, it has grown quite a bit since I bought it, but it was quite big when I bought it and the cost was really low, and these are really readily available. I've seen them all over the place, and again they are really budget friendly whilst at the same time being fast growers. So if you're looking for something that is eventually going to vine and trail and look a stunning statement piece in your home, this one is perfect. And you can buy these online or in shops, and the prices you'll find are quite reasonable. Some of the rarer Syngoniums can be more expensive, but this one seems to be fairly common, and it's not going to cost you a fortune, and it's going to be fairly easy to look after. And as I say, it makes a real statement piece with those gorgeous arrow shaped leaves. And those leaves really do multiply, I can tell you. If you found that video helpful, you may also enjoy this one.